Welcome to another week's edition of the vlog, or several weeks, I guess, because it's really just 1 week per vlog now. I am working on Five Dark Fates. That's, the sun does not like this book. The sun doesn't like anything. I'm like cut like in half almost. Working on this book. I don't know how to like capture my feelings on it. I don't care. Like, I'm not interested, and I'm barely into it. And it's not that it's like worse than the other books. It's just that, like, I think it just comes down to me preferring to read things all in one go. Like, I like to read series all at once and just like go from one book to the next book to the next book. And it's like, that's what I prefer. And I didn't do that with this book. There was so much time in between that I think I just got less interested in the series. So it's really hard for me to get into this, and it's really hard for me to really care about it. And it is just kind of like disappointing, because it's not that it's any worse. And like, if I do manage to get back into it, I'll enjoy it. It's just that it's kind of like, okay, I wish I was done. Like, I'm reading this because I have to at this point, not because I'm still invested in the series. And there's so many other things that I would rather be reading, but it's just like, I want to get through my library books, because the library is currently closed, indefinitely, of course, and there's no, like, notice on when it's going to open again. So I would like to get through my library books just so that, like, they're all done and ready to go back whenever, because I don't know, it makes me like, I don't know what's going on. And I would rather get to a point where it's just like, everything's good, like all my books are done, like they can go back or whatever. And I don't know, but I'm at work now, or waiting to go into work, because I work 4 to 7:30, which is a fun shift. It's like barely enough for me to feel justified in coming, and it's like, you paid for my gas and maybe a little extra. I don't know. It's annoying. But today I got my reimbursement finally for my wisdom teeth surgery, which is like last October. Like, I gave them my insurance information in like November, and like I literally just got the check back, which thank God, because I really need that now with like potential quarantine stuff going on. Like, oh, that's so important. And I filmed the book haul today because I had 27 books to haul, and I don't know, it's hot in my car. I should probably just go into work at this point. That's the update for the vlog. It's stressful times, guys, stressful times, and I need something happy to read, better to read. I don't know. I think this might be the first time I've vlogged at home since dyeing my hair, and I feel like this is a more realistic representation of what the color is than what you see in my car, because like when I'm in the car and the sunlight is like directly hitting it, it definitely looks more blonde, and it's a lot more of like a brassy orange color, which I like. I'm not in love with the blonde look, but I do quite like the oranginess, but I will dye it eventually. It's just I don't know, things are stressful right now, and I'm kind of waiting for the stressful to just like reach its peak, and then I will dye my hair to make myself feel better. Because I might be losing my job. We got the scary letter from the CEO that was like, when stores close, you will be immediately terminated with no extra pay. And it was like, that's fun, that's lovely. And I don't qualify for unemployment, so like, yay. I'm applying for grocery stores right now because they're desperate, and I keep getting like panicked emails from them like, oh, we're hiring immediately, and I'm like, please hire me. I will immediately quit my job to come work for a grocery store, which I hate, because I've worked for a grocery store before, and it was the worst job I've ever had in my life. I am trying to watch some booktube now. My boyfriend is going to be working from home. He's at work right now, but they got the notification that like they will be working from home like in the future, and he might requisition my laptop for that, because he has one, but his doesn't charge properly and doesn't really hold a charge very well, and because of the two things combined, it might not be very functional. And mine also does not charge properly. I don't know why. It just started happening this week, so that's lovely, since I can't afford to buy a new one until like I have a regular job again. But mine holds a charge much better. Like, it doesn't, when plugged in, it doesn't necessarily charge, but it also doesn't lose a charge. So he might have to use mine, which means less booktube, potentially more reading. Maybe, I don't know. Things are just, everything is weird. But yeah, I need to figure out a way to like still film videos, because there are a couple that I need to film, just like a couple of reviews and stuff that I need to film, and I don't ever film when he's home. I never have before, or I did once and it was like kind of stressful. But I need to figure out how to do that, so there's gonna be a bit of a learning curve in the next few weeks. So it is Thursday. Today's the first day my boyfriend worked from home, and it was fun. It's nice to have him here, but also like it really does mean that I don't really vlog much. But I did watch a lot of booktube today. I caught up in like 5 days of content, 5 or 6 days of content, which is good because I was way behind. And I edited a couple of videos, so feeling good about that. I also started reading The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, which I'm buddy reading with Abby from Abby Mac Reads. I am just like a little bit in. We just read the first 5 chapters today, and it's weird so far. Like, I mean, it's not weird, it's fine. So far it's like a lot of exposition-y stuff, so I'm not loving it. But also, like, that's what the first 5 chapters of a mystery are. Like, it's just like starting the story. Here's what's going on. Here's the cast. Here are the characters. Whatever. So I am expecting it to get better. A lot better. Is just like real quickly, because it's just like literally the very beginning of here's the mystery and the suicide / murder / what's going on. But it did kind of make me think that I really don't read mysteries very often. Like, straight mysteries. I read a lot of like thrillers. Like, thrillers I read quite often, but not mysteries. So that is kind of like an adjustment for me, because this is definitely like set up as a mystery, not a thriller. So that's kind of like an adjustment for me, and it's like different expectations, because mysteries do different things, and it's like a subtle difference if you don't read the genre, either of them. But like if you do read them, like you know that unexplainable difference. But like, yeah, I am hoping to like it. It's just like I'm not in a reading mood lately. Like the last few days I'm still struggling with 5 Dark Fates, and I don't know, the only thing I'm making real progress on is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is my audiobook. But beyond reading, I am just cooking. I'm making lasagna for dinner, and it's my first time making lasagna from scratch, which is a little bit scary. You can kind of see my process in the back there. A little bit scary. I hope it turns out okay. We don't have a pan that's like a good size, so I'm just kind of making do and hoping that it works. And I might have made too much ricotta, but like, ricotta's good, so you know, that's what we do. It is Sunday. I haven't really vlogged much. There hasn't been a whole lot going on, just working a lot of short shifts, which kind of like makes my days weird, because it's like I'm working like almost every day, but because I'm only working like 4-hour shifts or 5-hour shifts, it does mean that like I'm still not working all that much, which I hate. I would rather work like an 8-hour shift 3 days a week than like 4 or 5-hour shifts. But at least I'm getting paid for now. It's been very, very slow, so I do think we're probably going to close soon. Like, I can't imagine that we'll be open in 2 weeks, but you know, things could change, and when we close I'll get fired, but you know, there are worse things. I'm still working on The Cuckoo's Calling. I always want to say cuckoo. Whenever I see that word, it looks like cuckoo to me, and it looks like it should be cuckoo, but I know it's cuckoo. But I'm working on that still. Abby and I are still reading it, still kind of enjoying it. It's still just like the very beginning, and it takes a while to really get started, but I do hope it gets better, because I think it might. And I'm still working on 5 Dark Fates. Very little progress being made. Oh, you can't see. I'm like that far in. Haven't been making much progress. Haven't been reading a whole lot, to be honest. It's just like I can't really get into 5 Dark Fates, and I don't think it's like the book's fault at all. I think it's just because I feel removed from the series, and that kind of sucks. I wish I'd read it a while ago, like back when I read books 2 and 3. I really wish I'd just continued straight on to book 4, because I do like doing that a lot better. But you know, still trying to finish it up. I'm working 3 to 7 today, which is a fun shift. I don't even know if I qualify for a break working 4 hours, so like that sucks. I have not much else to say. Oh, I got disinvited from hosting the young adult book club, which is fun. The girl who hosted it last month apparently decided that she likes hosting it, so she's gonna host it in the future, and I'm gonna start hosting the adult book club, assuming that like we stay open and I don't get fired, and you know, all those fun things. So I'm gonna start hosting that, so I don't have to read most likely. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that book. I mean, logic dictates that I should just like return it to the store and be like, hey, coworker, you have to read this, here you go. But like, I already have it and I'm already in the mindset that like I have to read it, so I kind of want to read it, which is like ridiculous because it doesn't sound good to me. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. The first book I have to read for the adult book club is what's it called? Something about like a good neighbor, a good neighborhood. I don't know, something about like neighbors who don't get along and their kids have a romance, and like, I don't know. But it doesn't sound like fantastic, but it also doesn't sound like actively not my thing. It sounds like, okay, like this could be fine. Hopefully it's good, and it just has like kind of a boring synopsis, but I do like kind of small time dramas like between like people and whatever, so maybe I'll really like it. At least I don't have to read American Dirt, because that was the last book club pick, so I'm glad I don't have to read that one. But hopefully the book club goes well, hopefully it's nice, hopefully it doesn't really suck. But again, everything is canceled for the time being, so I have no idea when the first book club meeting will be. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. More of a life update than a reading update, because again, not much reading, decent amount of booktubing, so you win some, you lose some. But I live in Virginia, and the governor has demanded not a shutdown or a lockdown or whatever it's called, or a quarantine, but like non-essential businesses like the bookstore where I work now can only have 10 patrons in at a time. And like, I feel like this is the first step to Barnes & Noble closing. So I might be unemployed soon. But also I did apply to jobs at grocery stores, and I did get, I'm not gonna say I got hired by one yet, but I had an interview. They interviewed me over the phone, and they were like, okay, here's the information for the background check. They'll call you and you'll go in for orientation probably before the background check is complete. So they seemed kind of desperate, and they pay more than the bookstore, which is surprising, but chill. I was expecting like the same salary, and they were like $1.50 more, which is nice, and it's overnight, so like that's a sweet gig. I like overnight work, and it means I can keep the bookstore as well, so that I'll have 2 jobs now for the time being, at least until, you know, Barnes & Noble closes, because I do feel like that is an eventuality. But yeah, that's nice. I'm relieved that I will probably have a job, any job, just continue to get paid, because I really can't afford to not be paid. So today I finally edited and uploaded my 2019 goals reflection that I filmed back in the beginning of January, so good job me. Did fantastic with that one. I just made it into a slideshow of Mima, so if you want pictures of Mima, go check that out, like for real. She's very cute in it, because it was entirely out of focus, like the whole video, and there was no saving that, so. I also read last night for the first time. There's this book at work that like I saw in the young adult section when I was like organizing it, and I've like seen it for a couple of days now, and I was like, I want to read that book, but like I can't afford to buy it. So I downloaded an ebook, from the library. I didn't pay for it. I got the ebook from the library and I read it all last night, like in one sitting. I read the whole thing in bed with my boyfriend, because I was like, yes, I need this in my life, and it was great. Like, I mean, 4-star book. It was a YA contemporary. It was like good, but not like the greatest thing I've ever read. It was just like perfect for my mood, and like it was good in every way I wanted it to be good, and it was just like amazing. But I don't know, I didn't hate the ebook as much as I thought I would. Like I kind of did, and the reason I did like it was because I can't normally read in bed for a long period of time, because like the light is out, my boyfriend's asleep. I use like my phone as a flashlight, and it's kind of miserable, and like it hurts to read for more than like 20 minutes that way. So it was nice to be able to just like read, but also like I read for like 4 straight hours. Oops. But I did finish that, and that was like the first time I've like read in a minute, like since the whole like virus outbreak got like serious here. So I don't know, maybe ebooks are not that bad. And I'm currently making lasagna rolls. There we go, you can kind of see lasagna rolls. So it is Monday, March 30th. I haven't actually updated in a minute, just because I don't have much to say, first of all, and second of all, I was too lazy to take my old footage, my old video footage off my phone, so my memory was full, so that was my fault. But yeah, we're still just, it's kind of just like still the waiting game with the coronavirus stuff to like see what happens and what happens with my life. But hours have been way cut. I'm now averaging about 12 hours a week, which is fun. 12 hours, but like 3 to 4 shifts, which is stupid because I'd rather just like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I do what they tell me to do and show up when I'm told to show up. So we're not technically on lockdown in Virginia yet, but I do think it's coming eventually. The governor came on today to be like, stay at home, like this is an executive order, like stay at home, but also there are no consequences and I'm not forcing non-essential businesses to close. So who knows? Reading. I'm no longer reading The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. Abby and I decided that we would just like postpone it, like not read it, because we were both kind of enjoying it. I mean, we were in the beginning, so it's still like hard to tell if we were really liking it or not, but we were just kind of like, we're both like stressed and not in the mood, and like this is probably better if we like read it at a later point when we're like both in a good mood to read it. So we're just gonna like table that for a while and then come back in a few months when things are better, when we feel calmer or whatever. I'm still kind of struggling through Five Dark Fates, but also I haven't made progress on that in a minute. What I have been doing is reading a lot of young adult contemporary ebooks from my library, because those are like my comfort reads, and I've just been like stressed and not feeling like it, and just like high school drama is kind of what I'm going for right now. So I've made it through like 3 or 4 already, and like I'm currently like making my way through Sarah Czar, and then Kaz from Cats and Camera recommended me a few that I have on hold or that I'll be reading soon. So that's what I've been doing, just like at night, just like curling up in bed and reading for like a couple hours after my boyfriend goes to sleep, and then just passing out. So that's been nice. It is nice that I've done that, although I would like to read some physical books as well. It's just I haven't been really in the mood, you know? It's just like, because it's stressful and because I'm like worried about things, I haven't felt like it. But I have been watching a lot of BookTube. I'm actually like catching up quite a bit today because, you know, I'm only working a couple hours a week, so I have plenty of time for BookTube. Haven't filmed. My boyfriend is working from home, which I mentioned, and it's just like weird to film when he's around. Like, not bad, but it's just like I get so uncomfortable when other people can hear me, and I like second guess everything, and I stumble over my words a lot more and have much more trouble articulating. So I haven't tried to film, but I really do need to tomorrow, because I'm like flying through these YA contemporaries, and I have a couple of other books to review from before that, and it's just like I need to film tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna ask him to like put on noise canceling headphones so I can like film, because it is getting to the point where like that's a necessity, because I'm falling quite far behind. Yeah, beyond that, I'm just kind of like trying to exist, hang out with the Mima baby, who at first liked that my boyfriend and I were both home a lot more, and now she's like, why aren't you leaving? I want my alone time, because she's just being harassed constantly, and she's hanging out, but she still likes us. Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna try to read more tonight. I think my rereadathon pick for March is a fail. Like, I'm not even gonna try to read that tomorrow. It was written on the body by Jeanette Winterson, and I just do not feel like picking that up, because that is like a dense adult fiction book, and I'm just like not in the mood. I want to stick with my high school dramas. That's just like, that is my easy comfort. Instinctively, that is my comfort zone in reading, because like that's what I read all through high school and stuff, and it's just like I'm enjoying reading those. So I'm probably not gonna try to replace Written on the Body. I'm probably just gonna delay it and read that in like April, along with my April pick, because my April pick is like a middle grade historical fiction diary, so it'll take me like 2 hours to read that book. So I will still read it. Like, I definitely still want to reread that book. There's just like no point in me being miserable and like forcing myself through it. So it is what it is. We are changing things. I haven't been fired yet, but I do think it's probably coming in the next week or 2. I can't imagine it would be much longer than that, but I've also been saying that for the last like 2 weeks, so we'll see what happens. Just kind of taking it one day at a time.